A world forged in conflict, claimed as homeland by the exiles, conquered as territory by the Dominion. There is only one whose words we can trust. Geeks of Nexus.
Welcome, Wildstar Geeks everywhere, and welcome to the Geeks of Nexus podcast. I'm your host, Draycass, and this is episode number 6 for Sunday, the 10th of August 2014. And today on the show, the Wildstar Fighting Championship needs you. I may have dinged a special number as well this week in Wildstar, and Sparky's back with the rage at the Google authenticator. So, I'm going to take you over to my first co-host, the lovely as ever, Mr. TanVan the Geek. Hello, TanVan.
Hello.
How's it going? How's your pink eye?
It's gone.
Yay!
Mostly.
You're feeling better.
Oh, yes. It's so much better. Last week sucked.
Wonderful.
Just completely sucked. Holding a cloth over my eye trying to talk about a game. It was, not fun.
You made it, though.
We're good now. Oh, yeah. We made it through. We're good.
Very professional. And also, back from the depths of Italy, from Rome, the wonderful Sparky!
Hello!
How's it going?
Yes!
Look at the hat!
It's glorious! What hat?
You've turned into a gladiator.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Sparky, you've got feathers and everything.
Where?
For those of you listening on the podcast, Sparky is donning a gladiator hat.
Oh, yes.
It's just amazing. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a proper history geek out. Like, we visited the Colosseum, Pompeii and Naples, and, the Trevi Fountain, the Vatican, St. Mary's, and just 100 different basilicas and museums. It was awesome.
Lovely.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, welcome back. We missed you greatly.
I missed being here.
Oh,
really did.
Why didn't you play Wildstar while you were away? I'm very disappointed in you. How dare you go on holiday and not play Wildstar?
I was a little busy getting run over by crazy Italian drivers.
We'll let you off. Listen, I want to start the podcast before we get into what we've all been doing over the last week. I have a huge apology to make. We've been doing shout-outs to people who've been leaving comments on various sites like YouTube and iTunes and Stitcher, supposedly. However, none of us realised that you had to go onto our actual page on Stitcher to see the 5-star reviews. So we have actually missed a couple, and I feel so bad when I found them last week, because they've been there for a couple of weeks, and they're probably sitting there going, where's my shout-out? Yeah. So we have some shout-outs. We're going to do these at the beginning of the podcast, purely because we're so sorry for missing them. So, TanVan, why don't you take the first one?
Okay, we got one here from Ulag32. He says, awesome show. I've really been enjoying Wildstar and stumbled across this podcast via Stitcher. Wow.
Yeah, got that.
This show was quite new, so this tweaked my interest. More being new to the game myself, I've learned a great deal more about the game from listening to the show. The podcast is funny, entertaining, and picks over all the latest happenings and great and lighthearted, but informative way. The hosts do a great job of trying all the news together and informing the growing Wildstar community of what they need to know, with a bit of laugh thrown in there as well. Overall, I'd recommend this podcast. Anyone who's a great listen, and for anyone who's a fan of the game.
Me and Sparky are a bit confused.
I thought you wanted me to read the whole thing.
It's an amazing. Yeah, no, it was great. It's an amazing review, but we're not entirely sure that we're that informative.
No. You got the wrong show.
We make fun of stuff more than we're informative. That's
yeah.
It's good that people think we're informative. We didn't think we were.
That's
so
okay,
yay us!
But if they do, woohoo!
Sparky, why don't you take the other one? You have one more.
Sure, this was from Zabby 13 days ago.
Sorry.
5-star review. Sorry, by the way. He says, I've been listening to pretty much every Wildstar podcast since about a month before release. I have to say this is probably the one I can most relate to and actually get a good laugh out of. It's very casual and laid back, which fits my gaming style perfectly. I'm on the same boat when it comes to not having enough time to play due to somewhat having a life. Love that they also mention community news and events. Best thing about this game in general. Keep up the great work. P.S. May the Dominion reign. P.S.S. Just made that up. Lol. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for those wonderful reviews.
Yes.
They did make us chuckle, and we're amazed that people are leaving such wonderful reviews to us, so thank you very much. We will do the other shout-outs, as always, at the end of the show, so hang around if you have done one. And as ever, we have our Geeks of Nexus gift, not bribe, for anybody who leaves a comment on YouTube, Stitcher or iTunes. I will be doing a little raffle, I suppose, to see who wins that gift of a cred from me. The Draycass gift. Thank you. So moving on, we have... oh no, hang on, we haven't done that yet. I need to ask you what we've been doing. Sparky, since you've been back from Rome, what's been happening? Or tell us about your trip to Rome. Do something. What have you been doing this week?
Okay, this week I arrived back in... Oh, actually, I want to go through a story, okay?
Go.
I was on my way back from Italy. Not sure if you might have heard in the news, but we were travelling back from the Rome airport. I forget the name of it. It's got a special name. Not relevant. We're flying to Manchester Airport. Have you heard anything in the news about Manchester Airport recently?
Yes. The plane. I had a problem with one of the planes.
Yeah, one of the planes. The plane directly in front of the plane that I was on had to be escorted back to the airport by a fighter jet because of a bomb threat. And I was on the plane just before. And do you know what came over the intercoms on the plane? The pilot came over and went, we're going to be delayed just 10 minutes or so, and nothing to worry about. The airport down at Manchester is a little busy, so we're going to circle up in the air and just wait for it to clear out, and then we'll make our descent. Bing bong! He said it was busy. He didn't really lie.
Busy, but they might. To be fair to him, they might not have told him that one of the planes slightly lower than him might be about to blow up.
I think they would tell the pilot that. It's quite an important thing to tell a pilot.
I suppose so. Do you know what? That idiot, I have to say, I know it's something to do with Wildstar, but
you're not going to hear about that in the news. Like,
I know. Yeah.
When you're not on
that plane.
When you're on a plane,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell someone that, if it's a hoax, don't mention bombs, because in the job I'm in, I know you will get arrested.
Oh, he did. He got a little too merry on the cart going past on a booze, and he decided it was a great idea to hand a stewardess a little note mentioning a bomb.
Yep, and he's probably going to be going to prison because of that. Because, oh my God, he wasted like the RAF's time up in the air. He then wasted like all the emergency services on the ground, not to mention all the planes that had to get stopped.
Terrible stuff. But most importantly, my time.
Your time. Well, at least it was a hoax and everyone was safe. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
But the only person who's going to suffer is him when the judge goes, "You're going to prison for a few months. Go away."
I'm sure he enjoyed his complimentary anal cavity search on his way through the airport afterwards. Yeah.
What an idiot.
Wow.
That's
So that was my
very
week.
Well, that was the beginning. What happened when
That was the beginning of it, yeah.
What happened when you get back? What happened?
Seems like a good week.
Do you want me to go into the next topic?
Although I suppose that will be our rage, won't it?
It will be, yeah.
We'll come back.
I'll skip that for now.
We'll come back to your Wildstar experiences in a minute. TanVan.
Hello.
Have you played any Wildstar? Or non-playing Wildstar hosts?
Nope. I've been watching a lot of streams, and I've been keeping up with the forums quite a bit, but due to me moving over to the EU servers within the next 2 weeks, I wasn't going to level up a tune I'm not going to play anymore, so I canceled that subscription. I'm going to be moving over to EU with you guys and leveling up there and playing there. So that'll be, and I'll have more time to play because I purchased a new piece of hardware for myself that I can carry around anywhere, and I'll get a lot more gaming in.
Awesome.
So.
you will be in the guild, the Geeks of Nexus guild, which is going
Yep.
strong. We're getting lots of people joining us.
Oh my god, yeah.
I know, it's been great. You've had a
It's
chance to
crazy.
speak to people, haven't you, today, Sparky, since you've
Yeah,
been back?
I've
Which
just
is,
managed to caught up. They're probably wondering who the hell is this random guy dropping in talking about chewers and
with Sparky.
wearing weird helmets on the internet.
They'll soon know who you are. So welcome,
Soon
everybody.
enough.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome all our new
Chewers are awesome.
guildies.
Chewers are awesome.
And if any of you want to join us, we are on the EU Ascendancy, so if you're on that server, feel free to pop us a line, go to our website, geeksofnexus.co.uk, come and join us and have fun. So we're going to go into our gaming news.
It's time for gaming news with
Hang on, that's the wrong soundboard. It's this one.
Awesome.
Hey, paper, read all about it. Hey, Grano, hey, big bouncer, eat some of this news over here. Hey, chewer, this broadsheet's bigger than you. hey, come on, guys, it's only 60 gold. Get back here.
News of the week.
That's what happens when you host two podcasts and you don't concentrate at the beginning. They're both news segments,
Professional, I swear.
Oh, wrong folder. Okay.
Sparky, you're starting off. Well, it's not really. It's really a Cage the Rage, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah.
But we haven't got a Cage the Rage, so we're just going to stick it in news. But so, Sparky, explain what happened when you came back from Italy. You had that
Yeah.
traumatic experience on the plane,
Yeah.
and you thought, you know what? I'm just going to spend a bit of time relaxing on Wildstar and catching up. What happened?
That would be so nice. So I drag myself upstairs and start unpacking my bag and, chucking stuff in the laundry, getting everything all organised, and I sit down. I'm like, right, I know Kim's close to 50 now. I need to crack on with Wildstar. So I pop it up on, my brother's PC, and I smash in my email, smash in my password, hit enter. It goes awesome. It goes to the two-step authentication. I go on my phone. I bring up the Google Authenticator app. I click it and it gives me the number. And I'm like, okay, I need to click in the number. I click in the number, smash that enter, ready to play. And it says invalid username or password. And I know the username and password is right. It's right because it let me get onto the authentication. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on here? So I go onto the Google Chrome, website where you actually have that app from, and I check the account there, and I can log in there just fine using the app. I'm like, okay, the code's right, the account's right. What the hell's going on? And it was just a long, arduous process of this repeating over and over and over. I was like deactivating accounts, remaking accounts, making new accounts and new email addresses, changing email addresses with Wildstar. And I could not log into Wildstar and I couldn't play the game. I just wanted to chill and relax and I couldn't. So that's when I joined you on Mumble. And then Mumble started to break. My mic started to break. My mouse started to break. And everything was breaking. And I was so angry. But anyway, eventually you convinced me to go into the Wildstar support and make a ticket. And I had to go there, and this was the thing that made me the most angry. And there's probably been this for a lot of other people out there as well. If you've ever been looking for Wildstar support, you're looking for a number to call to get through to a real person and just talk it out, explain the situation, and get it resolved as soon as possible. And I was scouring the internet for about an hour across loads of different forums, and loads of other people have found this. Wildstar and Carbine or NCSoft don't have a support number.
Nope.
They don't have anywhere you can call
I
with
want to talk
problems.
to people.
Yeah,
We brought this up a couple weeks ago with the whole credit card thing, right? There's
Yeah.
nowhere you can actually call unless you just do an in-house
Yeah.
ticket. That's it.
Exactly, that's crazy.
But if you can't log into the game,
Yeah, it's screwed.
So
And then-
basically, Two-Step hates you. What's what we've
Yeah.
worked out of the last few podcasts you've been on.
Yeah.
So what
And now it
happened?
hates me even more. And you know the worst bit that I just remembered. I decided my code's not working. Okay, I'm going to go onto the website and I'll just remove the code so at least I can log in now, without the two-step and play the game. So I just go on the website, hit the deactivate button under the two-step verification, and it says to deactivate your two-step verification, enter your two-step verification code. What?
Snorted, that was so funny.
What? Anything else? That is the worst way. Because they've got to think to themselves, surely, what's the major reason for people wanting to deactivate their code? And in my mind, it's because the code is faulty or not working. So why would the security check be to enter the broken code?
It should be like, you know, what's your mother's maiden name or something like that.
Yeah, or an email, or
Yeah.
a text, or a phone call. But they don't have those either, so...
But you're on today, so
Don't know.
how did you get
I'm
resolved?
on now. It got solved. I made a ticket, and I was really fortunate, actually. There was a dev that got back to me really quick, about midnight, about 12:30, and he said, have you tried all of these options? I was like, yeah, I've tried all of these options. He said, okay, if you want, I can just remove the code for you. And I said, yes, please do that. And he did it straight away, and I just set it all back up, and then logged in just fine.
Awesome.
So yeah,
There, we made it.
it was a redemption story.
And how have you enjoyed your time back in mod?
Yeah, I managed to do like 3 Walatiki temples.
Yay!
So that was fun, and I leveled up. I'm 23.
Yay!
Hey.
Level!
Almost there. I'll be
Yay.
50 in literally a couple of minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have a week to do it in. You know that.
A week? Why have I got a week?
Well, that's all you've got. Just a week.
Oh, right, you're just randomly setting that
Yep,
for me?
that's what
Okay.
I've said. Because my
Thanks.
news this week, I'm putting the news segment, because my news is that I dinged 50 yesterday.
Yeah! There you go.
It was amazing. I was on Mumble with 2 guildies, and I was like, I've done it. Do you know,
Nice.
actually, do you know what? I have a little video, and I think I've forgotten to put it on here, which is really annoying, because I did a little video of me going to 50. I'll see if I can find it. But basically what happened was, I was there, it said it was like 99.7% or something, and I was in this little cave, and I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to... I was going through, there's these snails basically in this cave, and I thought, I'm not going to level killing a snail. It's just not going to happen.
What? What's wrong with that?
I didn't
What
want
have you got against snails?
I didn't want to ding killing a
Yeah.
snail. So I started recording because I thought I have to record me digging 50, and I ran out of this cave with all these snails chasing me. Managed to stun them, got out of the cave, didn't die, and then handed the quest in and I dinged.
Okay, so you'd rather ding off a snail quest. That's much better.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm a bit annoyed actually because they put a little video together and I've completely forgotten to put it on here, and I can't show you because I can't find it. But anyway,
Oh, well.
what I might do is I'll stick it in here somewhere. So if you're watching on YouTube, I will stick the video in here for your viewing pleasure later on.
Did you just gesture down to the
I did.
comments? Great.
I gestured
Okay.
down there.
More visual gags for an audio
I'll
podcast.
insert it here. Yeah. Well, it just
Oh,
encourages
jeez.
the people listening on the podcast to come and watch the video on YouTube later.
Or live on Hitbox.
Or live on Hitbox. Oh, I forgot to mention that. We're live on
We're
Hitbox
on
today.
Hitbox this week.
We are.
Yeah.
We've given up on Twitch because they don't like TanVan. So although the other Epic Geeks podcast
No,
are
they
on
like
Twitch,
TanVan. They don't like the other
they
guy.
like Raddy. Oh, that's
They
right.
don't like but
that
it's not the same
the
guy.
we don't mention. Yeah.
Doesn't
So-
exist. He doesn't exist.
So we could do this podcast on Hitbox from now on. So we are hitbox.tv Epic Geeks / Epic Geeks. So go and have a look on that there. So actual news, like proper news. There's not really news this week. I'm guessing the drop's going to be announced soon because we're coming to the middle of the month, and the drop's going to be at the beginning of next month. So I'm guessing they're about to announce it soon. All the guys at Carbine are going to Gamescom this week, so some announcement might come up, but I'm guessing they're busy because there's been nothing. But if you've been watching the Nexus report, Nexus Weekly, from the Carbine guys, there was a few interesting things that come up. Firstly, they mentioned, or Carbine admitted, that the healing in PvP was toned down too much. and they're looking to increase it slightly over the next few patches, not to the level that it was at, because they did think it was way overtuned, but some are kind of in between to allow healers to cope with the spiky burst damage in PvP, but not too much that teams are unkillable. So that's nice to hear. They've already kind of seen it. I was kind of thinking, we say we're not an elitist podcast, and we're like, for the casuals and everything else. I kind of think, do you know what is the point in even being an elitist and looking at the numbers? I think they should just basically have a random number generator and just press buttons. Because even when they work it out with the maths, they don't get it right. Just press a random button.
That's a bit harsh.
Maybe.
I'm sure they're trying their best.
Being hard. Oh, it's not on the devs really. It is hard, isn't it, to kind of get a good balance, I suppose. And until it goes live and they see what's happening with people, they don't really know. But it's nice to know at least that they are listening. The other thing they were talking about is the drops. Now, this is something that we mentioned right at the beginning of the podcast, really. The drops are coming out once a week. Not once a week? No, they're not. Once a month. God, that would
Once
be
a
scary.
week. Holy crap.
So
Might as well be once a week. How far I am behind.
At the beginning of every month, they bring out a new drop. Now, what they were talking about this week is the fact that there's been a lot of bugs that they haven't been able to kind of fix before the drops go live, which players are getting annoyed about, understandably. And they're actually considering the fact that possibly their aggressive content dropping is maybe a little bit too quick, because it's not giving them enough time to properly debug it.
You don't say.
So what do you think about that, Sparky?
I think content is coming out far too slow. We need a major patch every 4 hours and 23 minutes, 49 seconds. No, seriously, content is coming out, for me, personally, too fast. Way too fast. I'm level 23.
No, if you're going to take
I'm
3
being
weeks
stuck
off on
on,
holidays, you're in
on
for.
planes that are being bombed. If they could just fix logging in first, that would be nice.
If you get into the game to actually level up, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But if you can't even get into the game right now, it's
If they actually if they could add a drop, which is just like a mini game on the login screen, so when I'm locked out forever, I can at least play like Connect 4 or something against someone. That would be lovely.
somebody else who can't get into theirs. You just
Playing against them.
exactly.
playing together and you're all good.
Yeah.
That's good. Carbine, if you're listening, that's an awesome idea.
There you go.
Like that.
Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome.
What about you, TanVan? How often do you think would be about right for drops?
Oh, 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
6 weeks.
I mean, if you think about it, if they had it every 2 months, you could have 3-4 weeks of PTR, and sort of maybe 6 weeks before, and then you'd have like 4 weeks for them to fix it, and then it would go live.
I mean, a lot of it is what I've been reading is they got like 5 or 6 versions of the game already made way in advance, right? So they're fixing stuff on one, and then when they release the code for the next one, the source code, the things they fixed are reverting back, so they got to fix them again, and then they come up with a new patch, and they do that, and then it comes out. Instead of just taking more time debugging it, they're just whipping it out, and the things that they fixed are reverting back to what they were before they even got there. So it's not that the new patches are buggy. It's just what they fixed is being erased. So they're kind of just starting over every patch.
Yeah. And I think I
So here's a new patch, but we got to fix everything in the next 2 weeks. You got another 2 weeks to do it. Here's a new patch. We got to fix everything in another 2 weeks. Like,
Go in this vicious loop forever.
my God, I'm glad I'm at 50, because what's the point? I got 2 weeks to play before each patch or everything works, and then you got more crap coming down the chute. So, not crap, sorry, the content's been awesome, but you know what I mean.
It was such a positive podcast.
I like my potty mouth, and I'm not allowed to swear on this podcast, so I can say stuff
I'll
like
bleep
that.
it out. It's fine. The live stuff's fine. It's just for YouTube, and the listeners who might be in their car with their children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we drive around and the 2-year-old in the back going, F-bomb, F-bomb.
It's all TanVan's fault. He told me to say it.
Hey, you know what?
Exactly.
My kids don't swear, so it's not. And I swear in front of them all the time. You can judge me all you want. It slips out. I'm a construction worker. What do you want?
Wow.
Comes with the territory.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on other news as well, I was quite surprised. The Convert to Raid podcast I was watching on YouTube. They're being sponsored by Wildstar.
Yeah, I
Did
saw
you see that?
I saw
The
that.
end.
I was like, oh snap! And they accepted it.
I know.
What?
I know. The World of Warcraft raiding podcast, Convert to Raid, is sponsored by Wildstar, which I thought was an amazing move. Trying to grab WoW players before Warlords of Draenor drops.
It's like Carbine just giving a middle finger now to Blizzard, because they know a lot of Blizzard devs listen to Convert to Raid. And they know that.
For you guys that are a little bit bored before Warlords comes out, come across and try Wildstar for a bit. See how you like it. You know, give it a go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Did like they had quite a big sub drop actually. I don't know if you heard, but World of Warcraft dropped like 800,000 subs.
Yeah.
It's a summer.
It is. It's a summer, and it's the drop before Warlords.
You know what? And they can drop another 6 mil and still be the biggest MMO out there. So
most MMOs only have like 1 or 2, don't they? So the fact they're still on like 8 or 9 or something million. So fair enough. I'm still subbed even though I don't play it.
And it's like a year into no content right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're talking about 8.5 million at $15 a month.
They're making enough money. They're not worried.
Yes, even if it was $1 a month, they'd be making money.
They even announced that with the sub drop. They also announced within the same announcement that even though they've dropped those subs, it's still, the profit for that year is still increasing. They're still making more and more profit every year.
They're making so much money from the mounts and stuff and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like
they don't.
That's doing very well.
Oh no, 800,000 people. And you know what? And a lot of it is Japan and Korea.
Yeah, a lot of them, they play differently. They've got a different pay structure. But anyway, now we're turning into a World of Warcraft podcast. Leave that to the Geeks of Azeroth. Moving on. Swiftly.
That's right.
World of Wildstar.
World of Wildstar. So one news that Carbine have given us this week is that they're going to have some Gamescom live streams, in-game loot, and more. So next week, of course, we have Gamescom, or this week, Sunday. Yeah, this week's Wednesday, isn't it? Wednesday it's starting.
Yeah.
You can join Carbine for their live stream on Twitch. And he said, what's the best thing about conventions? All the free stuff. And like a space surfing Santa Claus, we're going to give you some... I don't know, that's what they said. A space surfing Santa Claus.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
It's a sci-fi MMO. Get with it.
Yeah.
We're going to give you some kick-ass Wildstar swag just for stopping by the Twitch.tv booth in Hall 9.1 this year at Gamescom. Every day from the 13th to 17th of August, there will be a limited number of special Twitch.tv bags to give out for visiting the booth. Inside the salacious satchels, you will find a Wildstar t-shirt, as well as a special code card for both a 7-day trial and an in-game item code pack. Our Gamescom item pack will unlock the following: Fancy Pants top pack and monocle, unique Gamescom die. In fact, I'm going to put this on the screen for those of you. They look quite awesome. Imperial housing decor and a unique in-game title called Showstopper. And you can preview the Fancy Pants and Imperial items below. There they are. Alongside all the amazing Wildstar loot up for grabs, you'll also find some sweet swag from our pals at Guild Wars 2. Twitch in each bag as well. Bonus. Hang on, what was that? From Guild Wars 2 and Twitch. Okay. If you can't make it to Gamescom, fear not. We're also going to be streaming every day right from the show floor via the main Twitch channel, and you can check out our streaming. I can't speak anymore. Our streaming schedule below. Dum dum dum. I think it's a shame they're not giving out things to people who are like on Twitch as well, like random gifts.
Random gifts to viewers on Twitch or watching the official channel.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
No, not everyone can make it to Germany.
No, that's true. I mean, don't forget this is early days. I mean, I'm sure as soon as they can, they'll be coming out with virtual tickets, just like Blizz.
Why didn't they do that? I suppose they don't have to because they've got Twitch. They're just streaming it. You're not paying.
They probably just haven't got the infrastructure in place yet. I'm sure they will.
If anybody wants to send us the loot bags, pick us one up and send them our way.
And we'll pay back.
Not.
So that's it. Well, that is kind of it from news. That is it from news. It's
Wow.
terrible. I'm hoping next week's going to be a bit better news-wise, with the drop and everything else. But the Wildstar Fighting Championships, which we spoke about a few weeks ago.
Wildstar.
That's the one. An amazing community event, which Carbine themselves often shout about on Wildstar Report and Nexus Report, Wildstar Weekly. They're the ones. They're even endorsing it because it's such an awesome community thing. Now they are reaching out to the wider community, the Wildstar players. If you like PvP and you like Arena and you want to bring some WWF style wrestling PvP to your server, you can do it via the Wildstar Fighting Championship because they're inviting people to be an affiliate. So I think it's an amazing idea. So they're looking to expand their presence by adding the Wildstar Fighting Championship 1v1 league to other servers, but we need your help. Obviously, running the WF events on other servers requires time, a level 50 character, a player you will need to create an arena, recruit fighters, fund the reward pot for winning fighters, and attend host all events in-game. This is why the WF is only looking for dedicated players. Now, what they're saying is the requirements. You must be able to fund and build your own arena that meets the WF standards, although we encourage creativity, it says. Must be able to fund your own events, fund the winning purse with in-game currency, must be able to excite and recruit dedicated fighters to your server, must be able to hold bi-monthly events, although weekly is encouraged, and must be able to stream all events live via Twitch or have someone else on the server do it for you. What will you get in return? You'll get to use a WFC name, get your results shared on the website, including arena profiles, fighter profiles, stats and videos, access to our official Twitter and Facebook, possibly get an in-game championship belt from Carbine. They've made us 2 for the Bloodsworn server. So if you're interested and you want to get involved on your server to start your very own Wildstar Fighting Championships and get involved in this amazing event, then please email wildstarfightingchampionship@gmail.com. How's about that?
Whoa. I'm up for that.
Yeah?
That sounds pretty awesome.
Should we do it on
Free
Ascendancy?
Can we do it?
We could.
You can do it.
Can I?
I can't do it.
And
No
you've
pressure.
been voluntold.
There's no pressure there. I don't know if I'll have the time to build an arena. But if anybody wants to build an arena on Ascendancy, then feel free, and we'll see if we can do it. How's about
Guildies.
that? Guildies, if
Get
you're
on
listening, let's do this thing, and then we can beat TanVan up when he comes over to EU. And
And free loot.
And wrecks you all.
Epics.
try and get this amazing belt that Carbine
Oh,
Dog
that
is.
sounds so good.
So that's a good. And if you haven't seen or heard about the Wildstar Fighting Championship yet, go along to their website, which is the wildstarfightingchampionship.com. They stream their events live on their Twitch channel, which is. Let me just double check what their it's twitch.tv/denofgeeks.us. But if you go onto the stop that. If you go onto their website, then it has a link to their Twitch TV channel anyway, and you go and watch their live streams, which I've
And
sat in
that's
no trouble.
DOTUS, not like .us.
.us. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say on that?
No, I've watched it a couple times. It's pretty cool.
It is fun.
It is
I have
cool,
listened
It's
to it.
pretty interesting. It's a fun way to do PvP without the elitist percent ratio crap that goes along with it, and this guy and all the complaining and whining. It's fun.
It's
Yeah.
fun PvP. All
It's a
right.
bit of fun.
It's nice community event. People getting together, having a bit of fun. So now we're going to do our own little community event. We're going to go in game.
In a podcast.
Yeah. Well, it's fine because we can
How
talk
is
our
that
way through
then?
it. It's
Okay.
all going to be good. Because what I was going to do this week, because I've dinged 50, I was going to do what to do now at level 50. But I didn't have time to kind of prepare it. I started doing something, and then we realised we were going to go live. So I thought, rather than adding something later, I can't add something later. We're going to be live on Hitbox. So instead, I thought we could go in game. I'm hoping. Oh no, I've been logged out. That's typical, isn't it? Talk, Sparky, for a minute.
I like games. Gamesy games. I'm kind of just running around your house still. I'm surprised I haven't been kicked out.
Oh.
Now that you're
Why did
not
they
gone.
kick you out and not me? It's you that they ate.
Yeah, I've been kicked out enough. Oh my
No,
gosh.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all done. We're here.
Okay, you on now?
I'm here. I'm just logging
Okay.
in. I'm clicking it. So clicking the button. I should be in my house.
For anyone
And-
not watching the video, I'm so sorry. This whole podcast has just been visual gags everywhere.
It's fine.
So
We
it
don't
makes it
have to-
fun, though.
Exactly.
though.
We are in Geekdom,
Oh, God.
which is my house, and this is not finished. I want to point out there is lots to do still.
Mhm.
So I'm going to show people around. So you could kind of do maybe a little talk through on what you're seeing,
Okay.
Sparky. Maybe we'll go
Right.
this way first.
Okay, so we're travelling across the field, which you really need to to cut with a lawnmower. We jumped into a giant metal cage. Why have you got a giant metal cage?
This is my office, come gym, come kind of
Office cum
experimental
gym.
place. Yes.
Okay. There's a huge hologram thing, loads of tables and big stairs. We're up on the second floor now. And it's like a desky area?
Yes.
Is this where you do your work?
This is where I do my work.
Why is there poison on your desk?
Don't
And
know,
who's
we
that
don't-
on the wall?
We don't talk about that.
That's
She's an evil leader.
suggestive. Hello. How are you doing?
There's the weird painting of some woman with no legs. I don't
That's
know.
not the important bit, Kim.
It's a hot painting right there.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's where the stockings. It cuts off at the stockings.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
Okay.
there's some treadmills down here. Look, see? We're on the
Okay,
treadmill.
so we're jumping down, first floor now. What the heck is this? Does this actually work? So I'm
No.
jumping on the treadmill. No,
No, it doesn't
No,
work, unfortunately.
it doesn't push you back like a treadmill would.
They should
I'm
fix
disappointed.
That. They
I think you should fix it. It's yours. Okay. Is this a teleportation thing?
It should
It looks like
be. It's like a pod. You should have one either side so you can
Yeah.
like zoom in and zoom out.
a blue pod that you can jump in and it does nothing.
It just fell through my computer.
Okay.
Come through.
Okay, we're going out now, the other end of the big metal cage.
That's my salvaging bit over there. Look, see? I need to
There's a
upgrade.
salvaging bit.
hmm
How'd you get in there? There's no...
And here, look. Welcome to my pub.
Your pub. There's a lot of plushy cushions around.
Yep, comfort's important.
This one's got spikes on. Oh no, it's tassels. I see. that's not a great cushion. with
Look at
spikes.
them forks.
Yep, look at them.
I had this issue.
Oh, do you
I
know
want
what?
to talk about this a second.
Hang on,
When
hang on.
I came back, I was outraged for another reason.
Oh, hang on, didn't mean to do that.
No
I
kidding.
looked into my house, right? I walked up to the most important feature in my house, the table, which, as all the concurrent listeners and viewers will know, is filled with plates and knives and forks, which I arranged perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a lot of time doing that, and I logged in, and look what's happened to the cutlery.
Do you know what's
It's-
happened? It's bigger, isn't it?
It's been eating its veggies.
It's grown. I just
It's
realised that.
grown.
It wasn't like that before.
It's huge.
It doesn't fit on the table anymore.
I had to spend 10 minutes reorganizing my cutlery
What's
around the
going
table.
on with that? If I'd have known that, I would have sorted it out before you guys came in.
Well, frankly, I'm appalled you didn't.
What's that about? That's really annoyed me.
You have no idea how to care for your
Oh
guests.
my word.
Wow.
But that's not important. Look, the
No.
drunken tables, that's there. Drunken chairs
Oh,
falling down.
this is, you described this.
Yes.
There's a knife in the floor,
Yep.
and a plate, and
Yep.
a chair knocked over. That's
Yep.
quite good. I like that.
And it's
Why
like,
is this a golden chicken?
yes, it's a golden chicken. Don't judge the
Okay.
golden chicken. And
Okay.
this is a football, like a table football.
Table football.
Foosball?
Yeah, like foosball.
My ball.
Mhm.
Foosball? Table soccer?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how it
Soccer.
works. But come upstairs. I have something to show you upstairs.
Okay.
Oh.
We are going upstairs. There
Are we
are
getting a
many
little
of
adult
them.
here or what?
They are brown in color and wooden in texture.
Look,
Look, I'm looking. What is this?
it's a
Is this
cinema.
This is your in-house theater?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
See, this is why it's taking me so long to get to level 50.
Because you've been working on a house.
Because I've been working on a house.
God.
And it's not yet finished. I have lots to do. I have lots.
How much
lots
did you
planned.
spend on this, Kim?
Probably too much money. We won't go
Yeah.
into that. Although lots of stuff
Yeah.
has dropped for me as well. I've been doing all the challenges and stuff on the way. And look at this. I have my own little training program.
What?
I know. I can train. I can.
This
look,
could be an arena.
it could be. There is an
So
arena
this
that you
is
can get for
something.
your house. I want to get that.
There's an actual arena.
There's an actual arena that you can get
Oh,
for your
that's awesome.
house.
Why is there an arm here?
That might have been the last person that took me on.
Can I leave now?
And the last thing I want to show you really, because the other stuff's just kind of like stuff that comes with the house generally, is over here.
Yeah.
You'll be impressed with this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You might like this. This is my spaceship port. Why are you sighing? I have
That's just how impressed I am.
a petrol pump and
Yeah.
everything. See?
Yeah.
Can you actually port from here, or is it just a...
It's just
No.
it's just for somewhere to
all
keep my
make-believe.
spaceship.
This is the one I have on my bedside table.
So these aren't houses, these are like lots.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what I've been doing with my time in Wildstar.
Wow. What's the
Instead of
actual
leveling-
inside of your house like?
Do you know what? I don't think I've done anything with it for
That's it.
ages.
No.
It's probably not even worth going. We'll have a look.
I'm gonna go in.
Because I think I half finished it, didn't I? I started doing some kind of thing with the. Yeah, I started doing some kind of this thing here.
Alright.
Oh, that's
Okay.
better than it was. If you remember what it was like last time, it didn't work very well.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But no,
Well,
I've
that's
got a
good, Kim.
fireplace. I've got a fireplace, but that's it. See, so that's like because people wanted to see. People were saying they wanted to see the inside of they wanted to see my house. So I've
Okay.
done a little tour for people,
Done.
and when it's finished, I will invite you back.
Right.
To have another look round. I've also got a little. This is a little raid thing here, which we actually did in one of the other guildies' houses the other day. It was quite interesting. They like scale as well, so depending, it's for 1 or 5 people. And it scales in difficulty depending on how many people go in it. But you can actually get raids for your house. So I think it's amazing.
What? Raids for your
Raise
house? What? This is this instance portal?
Yes.
What is this? What do you
Actually
mean?
go in it, honestly.
What? Oh my god!
Look.
It's loading.
It's a
loading.
loading screen. So those of you that don't know, there are certain plots you can get for your house which are interactive. And some of them are raids. If you go and like Google them, or no, actually, if you just look through, if you go to the vendor, not vendor, the thing that shows you what you can put on plots. If you like highlight over them, it tells you which ones are like raids and how many people they're for. But you have to talk to. I don't know if we're going to do it. We probably can't do it, but you basically just go through some little events, and then at the end there's a boss to kill, and you get some loot.
Oh my god. How often can you do this?
I'm not sure. Maybe once a day, I think.
What?
Maybe we could do it after the podcast. We'll do
Is it good loot? Is it like raid loot?
I can't. I think I got some kind of decor last time. Yes, I did. In fact, I think I got the pub sign. I got a pub sign. It's cool. That's
Huh.
it. And I got my little thing here, so I can do my my outfitting on a daily basis, as well as my gardening. So yeah, with my plushie.
Wow. That's pretty good.
So that's that. I'm gonna leave that now.
Okay.
Gonna move on, because otherwise the people listening to the podcast will be like, yeah, no one listen anymore.
Yeah, I think you should give them a
Oh,
timestamp
okay.
to skip.
You don't care about us anymore. You don't love us anymore.
They're talking about their dumb houses. What the heck is going on? We want to listen. We want hardcore. We want...
And there wasn't even a housing sounder.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh, but we have one. I'll put it in the podcast. That'll make the podcasters happy. I'll edit it so they won't even know. In fact, they'll be sitting here going, "What do you mean there was a housing sounder? I heard it."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll make
So now you're going to have to edit this out as well.
There's going to be lots of editing for this podcast. We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, good luck.
So we haven't got a sound of this one either, Sparky, because you've been away on holiday and slacking. But
Mhm.
from the forums is
Yes.
our next topic. TanVan, a couple of them haven't worked, unfortunately, because they seem to have been moved. But this is your segment, TanVan. So,
This is my favorite segment.
It's your favourite. Go for it.
It's time for the rage.
Oh, yes. Actually, I fixed a couple of those links in the show notes there. So you should be able to click on all of them except for the very first one, which is going to be the Wildstar service population, and should they think about cross-realm at lower levels? Basically what that post was talking about is people are going into the game for the first time and realizing there's nobody around. And they're not having the fun they want to have with this game at all when it comes to starting out. And, we've talked about it before how they've definitely made this game for elitists and for, like, the end game raiders. But you know what? Those 1%ers are not the ones that are paying those subscriptions. They're not the ones covering those costs. Casual players are also covering those costs. They have to look into that as well. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is playing with your friends and playing with other people and meeting other people and building a community around your character. And if the populations are so low at the lower levels, people are basically playing it, leveling a bit, and then quitting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They made $15 off it. That's it. So, do you think they should consider doing some sort of cross-realm at lower levels like WoW did later on, but, with that technology that's out there now, do it now. You can always take it out when servers get busy, right? It's not... Mm-hmm.
So that you can see people running around.
Yes.
And interact with people. You
can still interact with people. You're still on your own server, but those at lower levels, like say these 4 servers are all together, and then kind of like it is in WoW at lower levels, right? When all these servers are now joined together at lower levels, then as they become more populated, they take it out.
In my opinion, I think they should only introduce low-level server merging if they refine their tagging and questing system a bit. Because at the moment, I'm in a zone, and I ran past 2 people doing the same quest as me. We're along the same sort of lines, following each other. Mm-hmm. We occasionally bump into each other. But I could not, for the life of me, finish one collection quest, just because there were 2 other people on the same quest, picking up the same items off the ground. It took me about an hour. Does that count? I don't know, because they were kind of by themselves, they're in their own group. I don't want to disturb them. I just want to, go my own way.
Oh, she just go, please let me join you, please.
I didn't
Sad
ask.
Face.
But anyway, the point is, if all the objectives are still easy to get, then go for it, server merge, just so that you feel like there's lots of people around you and lots of stuff happening. But if they don't do the refining of questing first, then no. Leave it as it is so that I can level up. Please, sir.
They got to look into something at this point. Something has to change in the next. Not saying now, but within the next year, or it's just going to be another one of those MMOs that just comes in, rises, and then falls really quickly.
One of the things I think that is kind of hindering it a bit, which I've noticed a lot more this week than any other week, that there are definitely large segments of the community that are very elitist, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your gameplay, then that's fine. But my only issue with that ever is don't have a go at the people that aren't. If that's your game, if you want to do hardcore raiding and put the time and effort, that's fine. We salute you. That's great. The games need the 1%, but that is always just the 1% of any kind of game. And the people that bring the game in, that keep the game going, that's the casuals. And not all casuals are bad players. I don't know where this thing's come that if you're a casual, you're a bad player. Lots of casuals are ex-hardcore raiders. Maybe they used to do it, they haven't got the time anymore, they've got families, they've moved on. I'm sure there are plenty of people that come from Method and Blood Legion that don't play anymore, that just want to kind of sit down and chill. Just because you're a casual doesn't mean you're a bad player. But there are a lot of guilds out there that aren't accepting socials, aren't accepting casual players. If you're not quite up to the level, you haven't got to attunement yet, they don't want to know you. And that is really damaging to the game. Like, I've had people coming to our guild saying, well, I've been trying to get into like some of these other guilds and they don't even want to know me because I've only just dinged 50 or I haven't quite finished the attunement process yet. And it's a bit like, what? I can understand you only wanting certain players if you're going for world first and things like that, but if you're just a raiding guild, you still need to have people, I think, in it to create a community, to have people to talk to. I just think it's important to be able to group up with people, and those people could be your future raiders. You know, their commitments might change. They might suddenly have time to raid and things. That's just my opinion.
As a guild leader, you might know this, Kim, but what is the cap on people in the guild? Do you know? How many can you have?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure on that.
Because if it's a low number, like say 100 or beneath 100, which I doubt, but if it is, then I can understand really hardcore guilds turning people away. But say the cap's like 300 or 500, like I assume it would be, and I hope it is.
500.
500? Great, awesome. Yes, I had it guessed. So the cap was 500, so awesome. I think accept whoever you can get your hands on, maybe even that if they're just like level 50, just accept them, because they're going to be playing the game, they're going to be working towards those same goals that you want them to. Whether it's faster or slower than you'd like, it doesn't matter, they're there. You don't have to have them in your raid team, you don't have to have them in your hardcore teams, but there's nothing wrong with having some social members, even in a hardcore guild.
Exactly.
Pretty sure most WoW guilds do it.
And that's what makes a game. We've already seen from Wildstar that it's the community that makes the game after all. There's an amazing community out there of Wildstar already, and that's not necessarily from the hardcore groups, they're from the casuals that are creating this. So come on, guilds. For the people.
This is what I'm going to
children.
I'm gonna chime in on like what, and I agree with both of you. But everybody who listens to this podcast should know right now what I feel about tryhards and elitist. I can't stand it, and it's not. If that's your thing, that's your thing. With me, if you've seen me stream, if you've seen me play, if you've heard me, whatever, that's not me. That's not how I am. And just because you're out there doing your thing, you're the tryhard, you may be the best on your guild, there is somebody out there in the world that's better than you. And that goes for like so much stuff in life, but especially in these video games. So I've seen in so many different guilds and raid teams on WoW that if you're not this high level, you can't join. They don't give a crap what your skill is. They're looking for that number. A damn number.
You might be a terrible person as well.
You could be the biggest a-hole in the world.
He's trying so hard.
I know, it's so hard.
Well done.
But because you got a 550 eye level or whatever the eye levels are in Wildstar, or you have your attunement done, and they'll accept you right away. You have your attunement done. Your attunement done, so you're good. We'll bring you into raid. You may not know how to play your tune at all, but you spend a lot more time doing it, so we'll bring you in instead of the guy that's low. What are you doing? Like, everybody who's played any MMO started out as a noob and was a noob when they started playing. And people need to remember that that's how they started. No one was born. They turned 16 and went, okay, I know how to play a paladin. It doesn't work that way. You don't just know how to play a game. Like, stop it. Just, I hate it so much.
Play nice. Is the basic thing that we're saying.
It is a video game.
Embrace.
A game, not a video job, not a video career. It's a video game.
Embrace the
play the game. You're 1%. If you're going to be that guy, then that's fine. But you're 1% out of 99. And I'll take that 99% any day.
They make us laugh. We love the 99%.
They make us laugh.
Oh yeah, if there wasn't 99%,
are so funny.
And if there wasn't the 1%ers, I'd have nothing to bitch about. So that's why, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's great. Like, go ahead and spend all your waking hours on these games. But it's a game, and you were once that kid. You were once that kid trying to get into that guild. You didn't learn it overnight.
Help them.
So you by denying somebody who may not know exactly what they're doing or asking questions, that could be your next raid leader. That could be your next guild leader. That could be your next top healer. You have no idea what somebody's potential is unless you give them the chance. And this goes for every video game ever.
Preach.
Yeah, as John Lennon said, give casuals a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think that's how the song went.
Yeah.
You know how I am with tryhards.
Lovely. And that kind of leads us on to our next one as well, doesn't it? Or is that kind of the next one anyway? Because the next one was
We've covered that.
not noob friendly.
Yeah, we've done that.
We've done that, haven't we? We
Move
need
on.
to do that one.
Pretty much. That was a segue and a half right there.
Yeah.
But
this guy, you was it Unix? I can't even say that. Unexist? Unexit. You say it. I can't say it.
unexist.
That's the one. It's words. I'm not very good with words today.
Words, numbers.
I bought the game 1 month after launch. Was playing ESO, but that sucked. It did big time. But now I come to realise that ESO maybe was not that bad after all. Really, PVE I really enjoyed this till dungeons. Scrubs suck and always suck, so new players are stuck with them. Yes, there are ways around, and eventually you will probably get silver. PvP, this is what I love most, till 50. I have full 50 blues, and I can say I'm quite skilled. I know my class, I know the BG/2s, whatever. I did 2 times rated BG this morning, 1 and got 13 each, and then I lost times 2, lost 26, he's going on a bit. But basically he's saying, sure I get it, it's endgame, but why is it no fun at all? P.S. I know it gets fixed, but it should not have been this way with some common sense. I'm not entirely sure what he's saying. What's he talking about, TanVan? I didn't get that.
He's angry at something.
Okay, what he's getting at is, especially people level through and they're getting to the PvP, but what Carbine has not rectified yet is you can actually just keep losing and losing. It's like in WoW when you start when all these quote unquote elitist high end PvP streamers. Because you start new arena teams, start at the bottom, work your way up, and then start over again. That's great. You got lucky and you made it to 2,800 once. That's awesome. So put that in your little resume, and then you keep going back. And that's exactly what's going on with Carbine right now. So with Wildstar, these guys are going in. So people trying to actually get there, to get their rating, to really not be just playing their casual game, but trying to get better, and they can't do it because all the elitist hardcore players, whatever, are purposely losing to blow their rating, to bring themselves down to a lower level, so they can get their ego back and keep going up the ranks. So people that are actually trying to get through are not being able to actually do the content. So
is that actually proven?
I've heard it in a couple different medias that they have not fixed that yet. They are in the works of fixing it.
Was that because of the bronze, gold, and silver? Like
you can basically just blow your rating. You can get up to a high rating and then just blow it.
Yeah,
1,800 plus players can tank their ratings down to 700s while still wearing the gear.
If they haven't fixed that, they need to fix that. Don't they?
But again, it's the beginning of the game, right? You're only talking. The game's only been out for 2.5 months. So it is stuff that's going to be fixed. It's just that's not right. It's going to make people turn away.
There's still bugs.
That's not what they want right now.
Yeah, there's going to be bugs, but at least you can be thankful that, of course, there's going to be all these people trying to find these bugs and trying to find these exploits. And as soon as they find them, so does Carbine. And then they fix it. It only gets better from here. That's what I'm trying to say.
The only way is up.
They'll smooth all these little crinkles out and it'll be handy.
And I know what he's saying. Like, you get into a dungeon, you hit 50, and you get into a veteran dungeon, and you don't know exactly what's going on. The person beside you that's done it 3 or 4 times because they've gotten to level 50 because they may have had a sick day off work, so they got there a little quicker than you. Don't be that guy. Just... I've never understood it takes less time to explain to somebody what to do than tell them they're a scrub and a noob and a dink for the next hour and a half.
And it'll make it quicker for you if you just tell them all you need to do is stun at that point. Then that's fine, over. Like 2 seconds.
Just do this, and you'll be fine, man. We'll carry you. Okay, cool. It'd be great to learn instead of like, loser.
Yeah, but for those of you out there who maybe don't know what to do to try and avoid the situation, because we know that there are people out there that are like that, go onto YouTube and there are lots of guides on there for each of the dungeons and bosses, which just help you. So when you do go and you have a little bit of an idea of what you need to do and when, and then that'll take away that whole kind of experience of I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
There are people out there that want to play the game for fun.
Yeah.
You just got to find the right server, Ascendancy. And
Come to Ascendancy. We're nice.
the Geeks. We'll never do the try hard thing.
So
Until I'm 50.
Unless we get to endgame and then you're all.
When
That's it.
Sparky has to collect all the mounts and collect all the decor, then he's.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Move
There
all his
better not be a
forks
boss I have to kill to get a mount, because then I'm going to go elitist crazy. You guys better get back here, get on the blue mark and move here. DPSDS, what the hell's wrong with you? Oh my god.
I need this mount tonight, or I'm gonna come around and start you all in your beds.
Yeah.
Would quit so fast.
Yeah.
With his little hat on.
And a macro set up for G quit right there.
Your mountain forks better be goddamn straight, soldier. I want to see my face in those fork handles.
And look at that face. I'm going to zoom up. Look, he even has a Gladiator helmet on. So that's the kind of guy he is.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Protection.
What's the last one then, TanVan? What did you come up with at the last one?
No paid transfers to high pop servers.
Oh.
I think it's fair or not.
No. If you're paying for a transfer, surely you can go to any server you want to.
If you ended up being on a server that was it was busier when you got there, and then you find yourself, okay, it slowed down quite a bit. Whatever. You're going to say, screw it, if there's a queue, I'll wait for the queue. And I did this in WoW. I went from a really small server, moved my entire guild over to Storm Rage.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? At first, it was great. And then as the queue times went up, I had to find ways to basically log in on my phone at work. So by the time I got home, it was logged into WoW. And then make sure every hour I just go down and move the mouse so I'm still in the server. But you know what? It was busy. You found a guild and you found end-game content, and the auction houses were booming. And you know what? If you want to do the same thing in Wildstar, if you're paying for it, they shouldn't be able to stop you at all. If you want to wait, if you want to wait in a queue time, whatever. They design the servers for this many amount of people, so it doesn't matter how many people belong to the server at all. It doesn't affect a thing, because only a certain amount of people can play at one time.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I like this.
We need that
I love
sometimes
this.
because we're all very one-sided today on this podcast.
I agree. Move on. Podcast over.
We love
No,
each
I
other.
like this. I like that you can't transfer to a high-pop server, otherwise you know what's going to happen. There's going to be a famous server that starts up, one that's really good for PvP, one that's really good for PvE, for both Dominion and Exiles, and everyone is going to flock to it like, just like crazy. That server's going to get bogged down, it's going to get really heavy, there's going to be queue times, and all the other servers that are not that server are going to die. That's what happened in WoW. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to like that people can't go there and cause all those issues if, say, a server is starting to get busy, is starting to be a bit more overpopulated than any others. What Carbine need to do, if they keep this implemented, is also stop new people joining that server. Mm-hmm. If they do that, that means all the other servers will balance out, and then dead servers won't be created. And that way, everyone has people to play with, and there hopefully won't be any problems that I can think of.
And create free transfers to those servers.
To the low pop servers.
The low pop servers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that'll create a really nice balance game. But if you're going to stop people moving, you need to stop people going there from the start as well. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people are just going to create new characters.
But once a server gets so full, there's always people that are going to want to move to a smaller server.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's great.
Always.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, not at all. So I mean, I don't see a free transfer over there making sense or nothing like that. Or you know what? If you want to transfer to it, maybe it's going to cost you a little more money than it normally would.
Mm.
But I mean, if you have character transfers, if character transfers exist in the game, you can't say you can go to this server, but not this one, not this one, not this one. It shouldn't matter. Either take them out,
fight,
and offer free transfers off of high servers when you need to.
that's going to create a lot of fluctuation, and that's going to make guild, rosters unstable.
See, this is where I need to give you both a wooden
Rena.
sword. Rena, there you go at it.
Rena!
Fight to the death. In Rena, and we might implement that. And next time we can have a Cage the Rage segment. Have you two fighting against each other. And then at the end of it, you can just go and play against each other. Just have a little duel, and then whoever
Club
wins
Steam.
wins the argument. Then I like that.
Awesome. Right. Okay.
So we're going to move on now, very swiftly, to our lore segment, which I think personally is the best lore yet.
Oh, you don't stop it.
Sparky's back. I did my best attempt last week at doing the dragon lore, but it was interesting.
Scary.
It was a bit scary.
That kept me awake, and I
Sounded
told
like
you
a
this.
dragon, didn't it? Yeah,
Oh,
my dragon
yeah.
voice.
That was scary, man.
Well, this week we're looking at the little chewer. Oh, bless the chewer. So, here you are. Enjoy.
The Chewer. Nearly as brilliant as they are sociopathic. The Chewer are mischievous inventors who develop advanced weapons and technology for the Dominion. Science has never been more fun. Or agonizing. Their story with us begins in the early years of the Dominion, when the Makari, in the course of scouting prospective races, found that the primitive but intelligent Chewer of the forest Berzgalore displayed considerable promise. Showing an uncanny grasp of science and mechanical engineering, they were also remarkably devious and competitive. The Makari opened communication with the Chewer, predicting that the species, unconstrained by economic or moral considerations, could prove useful. In a bid to hyper-accelerate their industrial development, the Makari presented the Chewer with several instructive examples of simple Dominion technology. The Chewer reciprocated by presenting their celestial benefactors with a gift-wrapped Bezgalorian tar beetle. As per its natural defense mechanisms, the beetle promptly exploded when handled by its new owners, covering all dignitaries present in corrosive black ooze that required months of corrective drilling and acid baths to remove. The Chewer howled with laughter over this for days on end. Efforts to galvanize Chewer's advancement exceeded even the Makari's most optimistic projections. Their zeal for industry instantly propelled them into a state of near-psychotic overdrive. And in under a century, the Chewer had replaced most of Belzegar's verdant forest with factories that covered the planet's surface like a scab. The once blue skies now seethed with cancerous ochre, its formerly tranquil pastures reduced to dust bowls of ash. Although initially, too enraptured with their own productivity to see value in further discourse with the Makari, by 538 AE, the Chewer joined the Dominion out of a need for base resources that their own ruined world was no longer capable of producing. For the last 1,000 years, they have created advanced weapons and technology for the Empire. With the recent discovery of Nexus, the Chewer look forward to exploiting the legendary planet's natural and technological resources, along with devising new and exciting ways to destroy their enemies.
And that's that.
Wow, we were.
TanVan, when you listen back to that, it had me in fits of laughter.
What was I doing?
I love doing the Chewers.
Your chewer voice and laugh is just hilarious.
Oh.
Oh my word. So, I hope you enjoyed that. That was the chewer. Their little story.
Yeah.
So has anybody got anything else they'd like to say before we end the podcast?
I'd like to say hey to everyone in the guild. You know, hope to get to know you better. I'll be jumping on Mumble as much as I can, you know, when I'm on the PC. So jump in and join me and anyone else, and we'll get to know each other. It should be a fun and dandy time.
Let's talk rubbish on Mumble.
Yeah.
That's always good.
I can curse there.
You can.
You can.
Curse there.
And swearsies all you wantsies.
Yeah.
I haven't done an add-on or a tweet of the week because,
Okay.
you know.
Right.
It's been slow.
Yeah, it's been slow. So we're gonna have an outro, I guess, for the podcast. I'll have to have some kind of outro music here, right there.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay, I like that one. So we have some shout-outs, some thank yous. Sparky, why don't you take the iTunes thanks?
Sure, the iTunes thanks will be for SOG001 or 001. Thank you very much for the comment.
And TanVan, why do you do Stitcher?
We got ULag32 and Zabby.
Lovely. We did obviously read out their comments at the beginning because we forgot them. Sorry.
We're so sorry.
Really sorry.
If you still listen.
And the YouTube messages, we had comments from Emir Murad, from Bonnet. I can't even say that.
Bonnenusin?
Yeah,
Those words!
that one.
Letters.
The Eclipsed Mind, and as always, the lovely Wily Cat. So thank you. You guys are all in the running to win the Draycass gift of cred.
3 of those comments are me. They don't realize it yet.
Just different names.
I put like at least 100 full stops. Just full stop, enter, full stop, enter.
Stop it. So that's it. We have been the Geeks of Nexus. If you want to send us any questions or point of interest, send them to our email, which is geeksofnexus@gmail.com. And you can find us on Twitter @geeksofnexus. You can find me.
It makes that sound with the helmet on or not, bud.
Yeah, it won't make any difference.
Wow.
You can find me on Twitter @Draycass and Sparky. With your hollow head, where can we find you?
Epic Dark Sparky.
TanVan.
You can find me at TanVan the Geek and twitch.tv/TanVan the Geek.
Lovely, and if you want to join the guild, if you want to send it to, we have our own guild website, which is geeksofnexus.co.uk, and of course we are part of the Epic Geeks network, and we have other gaming podcasts, which you can find out about on the Epic Geeks website, which is www.epicgeeks.co.uk. That's it for another week. See you guys later.
Bye.
Goodbye.
This podcast is part of the Epic Geeks network. To find out more about our other gaming podcasts, head to epicgeeks.co.uk.